Okay, this is gonna be the NBA. Let's see what the title's gonna be. NBA trade deadline recap video. We're just gonna be talking about some of the stuff that went down yesterday and today. So I guess we'll just probably start with like the timeline of events. Everything that's happened throughout the past 2 days was obviously all started with Kyrie, and that kind of set the chain of events, the dominoes to all fall. This is hands down one of the craziest trade deadlines I've ever seen. I don't know what people were on. I don't know what teams were doing, but they went completely crazy in many different ways. So obviously Kyrie requested a trade, and he went to the Mavs, and that's where all this kind of started. Everyone kind of thought after Kyrie requested a trade that KD would be next. But the rumors were that KD was going to request a trade, or maybe not even be traded before the deadline, and maybe wait until like the offseason. So yesterday at 1 in the morning, you know, keep in mind most people are sleeping, except for probably people in Phoenix. I know people in Phoenix weren't really sleeping. But yesterday at 1:30 in the morning, huge news breaks. Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix for a haul of players and a haul of picks, which this just completely shook up the NBA, and this just completely laid the groundwork to the kind of trade deadline we were finna have. Also, not to be overshadowed, the Lakers made a trade that brought D'Lo, Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley to LA, and they got rid of Westbrook, sent him to the Jazz. And so, I mean, the Suns trade obviously overshadowed that, which is crazy. You know, you think the Lakers had the trade of the day, and then the Suns go at 1:30 in the morning and get KD. So that was just yesterday. Today, we get into, like, what is hands down probably the craziest trade deadline I've ever seen or ever heard about. I don't even know where to start. I guess we can just start with the Lakers again. The Lakers went out and traded Pat Bev for Mo Bamba. They went out and traded Thomas Bryant for some second-round picks and a point guard, shooting guard from Denver, I believe. And then you had the Clippers going out and trading all their point guards away to bring in some players that don't really help them that much. I think another big trade that was made today is Jay Crowder went to the Bucks after being traded to the Nets. So he's only in that for a day. Then you also had the Pistons and the Warriors and the Hawks doing a trade that sent James Wiseman to Detroit and sent Saddiq Bey to Atlanta. That was a pretty big one. Trying to think what else. The Brooklyn deal obviously happened yesterday. No Raptors moves, which the growing rumors were the Raptors were gonna try to see what they could get for players, but they went up and picked up Pirtle, and that's about it. They didn't really do much else. John Wall's going back to Houston, but I think his contract's going to be bought out. I don't think that he's going to stay in Houston. Like I said, Milwaukee didn't do much. Boston got a few role players here and there. It was mainly the West that went crazy. The West is the ones that did a lot, essentially. And it's more now that the West is loaded and the East is kind of wide open now for those teams to kind of make a run at things. Memphis also picked up Mike Conley Jr. in the 3-team trade that happened. I can't really think of anything. I'm not going to try to recap every trade, but just give you my general thoughts. I think that, you know, the winners in my books have to be Phoenix and LA, based on just solely alone what they were able to get. And I would put the Mavs in there too, because they got Kyrie for basically nothing, which was kind of crazy. And so, yeah, this trade deadline will hands down be one of the craziest ones I've ever seen. And if I had to give this trade deadline a grade, I'd probably give it like an A, because this, like I said, this shaked up the foundation of the Western Conference and the NBA in general. Just think about how good the Western Conference is about to be. You have the Warriors, you have the Lakers, you have the Clippers, you have the Suns, and you have the Mavericks. And then you still have Denver and Memphis, who are kind of at the top of the Western Conference right now. But, you know, things can change, obviously. But, like, I think hands down the Western Conference is a stronger conference now, obviously. I think the East can still be a strong conference. They have some teams in there that are contenders this year. Cleveland, I was surprised didn't do anything. Chicago, I was surprised didn't do anything. It was mainly the teams you thought would do things, did things. And the Warriors got Gary Payton back, which he was on the team when they won a championship. So it's good for them. But yeah, overall, pretty good trade deadline. I thought it was real crazy. A lot of moves that shook up the NBA. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts.